Well, I am a freshman here at UW Milwaukee. I'm 20. I took a gap year in between high school and college, and that was like really nice. I worked, saved up some money, and so now I'm here. And I'm actually the first one to go to college in my
Yeah,
family. My
absolutely. So I'm Brianna Canales. I grew up in Watoma, Wisconsin. 2,000 people lived there. It was predominantly white, Republican, conservative. I've seen signs like White Lives Matter being posted. I've had people touch my hair. It's been an experience, especially because sitting here today, I'm an Afro Latina. I identify as that, but I didn't always. I didn't get to that point till I got to UWM, where I saw people that looked like me. I saw diversity. I saw culture, and I felt like myself.
My name is Maya Yang, and I am the director of the Inclusive Action Center here, and my pronouns are she, hers, and hers.
Excellent, Myra. It's very nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
What is your national origin?
So, I am Hmong, and my families are originally from Laos. We are refugees of the Vietnam War. For the first 10 years of my life, I didn't know anything beyond the barbed wire fences. And so I was just in the refugee camp, and then my family came to the United States when I was 10.
Being the first person in your family to go to college, would there be any pressures from anybody in the family? Did you feel like you were kind of owed to them by chance, or do you think it's more to yourself?
Yes, absolutely. My parents for sure wanted to live vicariously through me. They for sure. And there was the extra added pressure that my older sister actually didn't go. She's 6 years older than me. So for that whole time, like after she was like, yeah, college isn't for me right now. Like I have to gotta focus on my family now. From then on, it was like, you're going. Like, and that was just it. I had no choice in the matter, which I planned to anyway. But it was just it just kind of felt weird that if I ever decided that it wasn't for me, that I wouldn't be like accepted for that.
Initially, how did you decide that you want to pursue higher education?
As somebody who grew up in a refugee camp, I've experienced extreme poverty. Sometimes we don't even know where our food was gonna come from, or we even gonna have a meal. I got a little emotional. So, and then we come here, and we were on, state benefits because my parents couldn't speak English. They couldn't, work, and so it was really hard. But when I got to high school, I was in a pre-college program called Upward Bound, and so for 6 weeks each summer, I was uh, privileged to be on a college campus taking courses, and then at the end of the week, we explored different colleges across the region. And so, because of it, I decided that education was the way for me. I just knew that I had to go to college, and that nothing was going to stop me.
Being the first person in your family to attend college, what difficulties did you have or face to make it there?
So once I realized I did want to go to college, I think that's when all the pressure came in. Once I got into like, okay, this is what I want to do, then it just all flooded in.
Yeah.
Oh, you can't do that. You haven't been getting good grades. Like, I wanted to go to, we were talking about Minnesota. I wanted to go to Minnesota Twin Cities. And that was at the time I wanted to be a surgeon. And I was like, yeah, I'm going to go do this. And then it was like, no, you don't have the grades for that. Like, you have good grades, but you don't have, that grades, or you don't have Ivy League grades. And I was like, what do you mean I'm not good enough? I want to just, now I'm ready to do this. Now I'm ready to go to college, and now I can't? What is this? Financial troubles. Even if I did have the good grades, would I have had the financial support to do it? Transportation. Nobody in my family had a car that was trustworthy, again, because of financial issues. It's a lot. It was a lot of difficulty. It felt like, okay, I got one step closer to now fall 5 steps back.
Right.
I actually had to apply from my phone. Like I didn't even have a computer. I literally typed the essay to get in and everything from my iPhone, which is, I was like, oh my God, I'm such a this generation. Like I literally applied to college on my phone, but I like didn't know how I just fumbled through it, but I made it.
So here you are.
Yeah, here I am.
So when you initially told your family, I'm going to college, what was their emotions like? How did they feel about that?
Yeah. So when I think of family, I immediately think of my dad, because growing up, it was just him and I in the house. So when I told him, it was excitement, but my dad isn't like the outright excitement, right? Yeah. He's like, oh, that's nice type of guy. But I knew, okay, that's a good reaction. He didn't meet me with like, you can't do it. What are you? No, he was excited, but also it came from like, I'm excited for you, but also understand I can't help you that much, which I think is where that lack of pressure in the beginning stages of me trying to figure out my path came from. My dad didn't talk a lot about wanting me to do something because he couldn't hold me to a standard he didn't fulfill. Not that he didn't want to, but he also is a big person on not being a hypocrite. So he couldn't say, you have to go to college, you have to do this, you have to follow this 12-step rule if he didn't follow it.
Right.
So when he did find out I wanted to go to college, I'm sure on the inside he was like, yes, it worked. Whatever reverse psychology I was trying to do.
Growing up.
Exactly. All the adversity. Because like I said, he was telling me his story, but he never said, don't end up like me, or don't do this. Or even he never said, do this. He was very like, I'm going to let you live your life. I'm still your father. I'm still going to tell you when you're doing something off the rails. But at the end of the day, it is your life, your journey. That's exactly what he got. So,
how did your family first react about you wanting to go to college?
Oh my goodness. So my mom, she's very traditional, and in our culture, Hmong, as a woman, you're not supposed to leave the house until you're married. And so me going off to a different city to college and away from my family was, my mom couldn't comprehend with that. And so she got really mad when she found out that I was applying for college, and she refused to sign my college application and told me that if I really wanted to go, I'm gonna have to sign it. And if I leave, don't come back. And I left for college, and my mom never came to see me. She never supported me in any way, and not even any financial support, until my senior year was when she finally came to see me in college, because I told her I was graduating.
Definitely. How is your first year of college going? And do you think it's been a little trickier as navigating that as a first gen, or do you think it's a little more of the same?
Yeah, it's definitely been a little trickier dealing with all this stuff as a first gen because your parents are there and they want you to do good, but it's just like they just don't have the knowledge, and there's really like they can help you in other ways, but it's like I'm the pioneer. Like I'm here doing it for the first time, and they don't have the lived experience, but they're right there behind me cheering me on. It's just kind of something that I'm like, well, here I am. I'm 20. I'm a grown woman. I need to start figuring these things out. I park in the pavilion. Like, I get there eventually. Even like the struggles that I go through, it's like I know that I got my little team behind me. It's just harder because I'm the first one. Like, but it's possible. It's possible.
others. But then there were things like FAFSA. A lot of paperwork, a lot of jargon, a lot of lingo you don't understand. Nobody prepped you to understand this,
Right.
but you're expected to do it in order to be able to fund your college experience. I remember freaking out when I had to do it. Not to mention it's asking very like probing questions. And I'm a first generation student because my father didn't go to college, and there's a reason for that. He was scared. There was so many people using language at him that he didn't understand. He felt stupid, and I don't think that that's an accident. I think as a Mexican man living in America, he was made to feel that way. They wanted to weed out the people that like weren't set up to succeed.
Yeah.
And yeah, that bothered me, and that bothered him. I had to ask him questions about his finances, his social security number, all of those things that are very private to him, very, very private. And I understood. And he's never gone through the college system. So for me to be asking him those questions, that's not normal to him. He's not understanding why I have to ask
So
him.
the struggles of knowing that my mom didn't support, my family didn't support me going off to college, and no one wants to come see me. And then you have families, you have friends and classmates and roommates whose parents are always visiting them, checking out on them. It kind of hurt.
A little hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like I say, I didn't care, but deep down I do care, and it hurts. But like it is what it is, and I had to persevere, and I had to work hard, and I had to prove to my family that I didn't just come there for nothing. I don't see that as a bad thing now that I'm much older. I see that as it's actually a good thing because it motivates me to want to work harder, to want to accomplish, and to want to strive harder. When you experience pain, you have all kind of different emotions running through your head. But at the end of the day, you only have two choices. Either let that destroy you or let that be something to build you. And so I have to let it build me because I wasn't just gonna be there to waste somebody's time.
Is the American dream different from other people? Do you think maybe someone of person of color or
I
like a
was just
woman,
about to say, oh my
like
gosh,
it's
yeah.
yeah? So is that different for
For
people?
sure. Like,
Okay.
it's so different. Like, everyone is at a different point of privilege. They're all different. I feel like I try not to, like, think about it, I guess, too much. I try not to let it affect me and try to just like go at life like none of those things matter, even though I know they do. I feel like I'm kind of being held back by like different. There's like the side of me being a person of color, like that I'm black. There's the side of me being a person of color that I'm Latina. There's the things that I have to go through specifically about being a person of mixed race that's like in and of itself has struggles and setbacks and judgments and stuff. Um, and then there's the fact that I'm a person and part of the LGBT community. Like, there's just so many things that people can scrutinize, even though you need to acknowledge those things. In a way, I try and like act like it doesn't exist. Like,
Taught about almost.
yeah, like, you know what?
Yeah.
I'm gonna do what I need to do, and you know, if something blocks my way, I'm gonna just take a different path. Like, that's kind of how I see it. Even though, yeah, yes, people, the American dream, it's not the same for everyone.
Subjective for sure.
It's so, yeah.
Are you familiar with the concept of the American dream? Yes, and yeah, it's like
right. Like I am aware of it. Have I lived it? No.
So, do you think that concept is worth it for someone like us?
No. Why? Because it's something that's unattainable. Like, I came out of the womb with my skin color, which means when asked if I could ever live the American dream, the box was automatically no.
Yeah.
Then the layer of being a first generation student, that's another no. I don't need to keep hearing no's. I'm not going to keep doing that my whole life. This, where I live, the life I live, that's my dream. That's my Black dream. That's my Afro-Latina dream. That's my minority dream. I don't care about an American dream. I just happen to be in America, which in my eyes is a very, it's a made up term. It's a social construct.
Yeah.
Because this isn't even American land that we're sitting on right now. This is stolen land. So to try to strive to meet a dream that was stolen, I don't want it. I don't want to obtain it. And
yeah.
I say that now to anybody listening, but more so to that girl that wanted that at some point. I wanted to straighten my hair and look like all the other girls that had straight hair, blue eyes, pale skin. I wanted that. I wanted that so badly. And some part of me wanted things like college and all of that for the wrong reasons, and because I wanted to be like everybody around me. And now that I have realized why I want it, I realize couldn't be farther from the American dream. It's my dream.
I love that.
Thank you.
That is.
So I don't have an American dream. I just know that I have to find a way to break out of poverty. I had to find a way to find the best version of me and not be chained by whatever things that is holding me back. When I was younger, I keep blaming my culture. I keep blaming the culture, knowing the practices and belief in the culture that I was born into. But now that I'm much older, those aren't chained. There are things, the building blocks that you mentioned, right, that will make me, become who I want to be if I know how to use those building blocks.
I guess personally, what does it mean to you to be a first generation student?
I kind of feel like I'm paving the way for the people that are going to come after me. I'm going to have the lived experience to be able to help my kids, and they're going to be able to help theirs. It's kind of just like starting the cycle and just, making it a little stronger.
You asked me 3 years ago when I was coming in, like 3.5, 4 years ago when I was coming in, I would have said, oh, well, it just means I would have gone by the textbook, right?
Yeah.
I would have been like, well, it means I'm the first person to go to college.
Right.
No, that's not really what I mean, yes, by definition, sure. But my own definition, like you asked, is that my priorities, my needs, my desires, my everything comes first. I think just reflecting on everything I said, I would say always put yourself first, your needs, your wants. Yes, you're doing it for your family, but you can only do it because of you. So you have to put your needs first. Which means if you want to go out and have fun, go out and have fun. Yes, study for that 8 a.m., do those exams, do all of that good stuff. But yeah, go have fun. Because I think reflecting back on the 4 years, I do not regret those nights I stayed out. And
Know what you want in life and strive for it. And don't let anything stop you. Don't let anybody tell you that you can or cannot do something because they don't know. And if you try something and you fail, that's okay. You can always get back up and try again because now you know that you have already tried that, it didn't work. So what new strategies are you going to try to use so that you can succeed? And so just keep pushing forward and don't let anybody put you down. They can put you down, but don't let yourself down. Don't let those words hurt you. And so just do whatever you wanted to do. Believe in yourself and you'll make it. Even if it take you 10 tries or 20 years to try. Just keep trying.